Everybody, Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Lindsay Middle School for the game between the Hampton Crabbers and the Lady Bruins of Bethel High School. This has been an unusual day. It has rained. It is overcast. It's wet. We have water puddles in front of us. They got us set up in front of a box to keep us dry in case it decides to rain. There is some blue skies over there, over center field right now.
Blue skies.
Blue skies
coming this way.
Here we go. Hopefully the rain has gone, as it drizzled pretty good there for a while before we actually got set up. So maybe we may be able to get this game in between the Crabbers and the Bruins.
Well, the field looks pretty good, Mike, looking out from our vantage point here by the pod. Good field condition, no wet draining areas out there. The worst part of the field is right back here where we are.
Any foul balls, we're going to have to be real careful, because if it lands in front of us, we're going to get wet.
Well, I'm just going to duck right behind you. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Hampton's girls softball team plays here at Lindsay Middle School, which is right around the corner, basically, away from the high school.
Yeah, they can probably run right through the woods back here and get here real quick. Crabbers without their own field at their high school play right here.
Well, a lot of the schools do that. I mean, Bethel just had a field built a year or two ago, and they used to play it at Forest, and Kickotan used to play over at Francis Asbury until they opened up their own field now this year, and what a nice looking facility that is too.
It's a beautiful field, it really is. We got the honor of being there for the opening game this year,
and boy was it cold that day. What a contrast between weather on that game and this one.
Isn't it nice? We
sat there and just absolutely froze, and here we almost want to be in shorts out here because it's really muggy. And what was it, 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago at the most?
About 3 weeks ago.
So we are in the, second week of April here. The day is the 14th. It's a Friday evening.
And schools have ended for spring break.
That's right. Spring
break
officially starts today.
Hallelujah.
And some teams have no games next week. There are a few that do play.
Mostly makeup games, I believe.
I think the majority of the games that are being played next week are pretty much non-conference games where they've actually decided to play some of the other teams from different districts. I know we at Heritage have a game against Lafayette in Williamsburg, and the following night we get to play Hampton Christian.
Well, that ought to be good.
Who is a team that is doing really well.
Yeah, they are.
Like 12-1. They have a good squad. They always have. In fact, they've won the private school state championship
several years in a row here. They've got some good program, a very good program there, good coaching and good young players. We get to see a few of them during the Legion season, as you know.
Yeah, it's amazing. I talked to the gentleman who is the coach of Post 255 last night at the Heritage Wart game, and he said, we have something new that starts this year. And I said, what's that? He says, we now will be playing 9-inning games.
Hallelujah.
9-inning games now in American Legion, and he was saying that to start the year this year, 255 is playing 4 games in 6 days.
Whoa.
And I said, boy, I tell you what, you better have some good pitching, or a lot of them.
And that's the big difference that is going to crop up this year in Legion ball. Mike, as you know, with 9 innings, most of these kids are used to 7-inning games, and a lot of the pitchers are not going 7 innings. They're going 5, maybe 6 innings, and now they're going to be asked to go 9.
Yeah, if that.
So whereas before you would start the Legion season with 2 pitchers, one that you could start one game and one another, and you'd have a third in reserve, you're pretty much going to have 2 guys you can rely on in one game with a third in reserve, and then 2 more guys you can have for the next game. So you've got to have 4 to 6 pitchers this year, whereas before you could have got by with 3.
What a difference in the strategy of the game once you go to that position. Both coaches and the captains of each team have already completed their pregame conference with the umpires at the plate. As when Andy is ready, we'll tell you who our umpires today are. Well, then, since they have a slight problem, we'll go ahead and put it up. And there they are. Anthony Miles is the plate umpire, and at first base is Gerald Barnes. Those are the officials, the umpires for the game.
And, Mike, I was trying to get some information on the records of these ball clubs. Hampton, I'm not sure what their record is. Bethel comes in 6-4-1, 6 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie. Hampton, we'll try and find out here shortly what their record might be. If I can get in touch with one of the people from Hampton High School. But the teams are out on the field. They're warming up. They're just about ready to go.
Hampton, obviously, the home team is on the field doing their first inning warm-ups, and as soon as Andy gets a chance, we'll throw up the starting lineups for the Bethel Bruins as they will bat first here in the first inning. There it is. There they are. There's the Bethel starters. Gabriela Gonzalez.
Gabriela Gonzalez, we know her as Gabby. She's the catcher. Batting second, Brittany Hicks, the center fielder. Batting third, Jenna Ryan, the third baseman. The cleanup spot, Jamie Powell at shortstop. Batting fifth, Janie Stokes. She'll be pitching today. Batting sixth, Melissa Walton, the first baseman. Batting out of the 7 hole, Hope Reddick in right field. Batting eighth, Morgan Jenkins, the second baseman. And batting ninth, Julianne Pye, the left fielder. That's your Bethel Bruin lineup for today's game against the Hampton Crabbers. And as we show you the field at this time, you have the pitcher for the Crabbers. And I believe that is Sarah Roby, 9th grader, freshman.
The defensive starters for the Crabbers out in the field right now. Over in left field, Jennifer Mendoza. Center fielder is Stacy Parham. The right fielder is all the way down there at Lucia Burrell. Over at third base is Shayla Corrales. Shortstop is Courtney Travis. Over at second is Kelsey Owens. First baseman is Jennifer Sanchez. And again, the pitcher, Sarah Roby, along with her battery partner, and the catcher is Jessica Jones. That's the defense of the way the Crabbers are set up for this game.
And we got a little bit of information on the Hampton pitcher before the game, Mike. I was able to talk with Judy Lucas, the coach for the Crabbers. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, young Miss Roby is a 9th grader. She's got a good fastball. The key to her game here is to find her spots, Mike. She's got to hit where she needs to put the ball. But she's going to have a problem today. She's got a jam finger.
Ooh.
She's taking the mound with a jam finger. She says she can pitch okay. It shouldn't bother her too much. Judy told me they were going to. Yeah, exactly. And Judy said they're going to go with her as long as they can and see what happens. If it gives her any problems, of course, they're going to have to go with someone else. But a 9th grader pitching for the Hampton Crabbers with a good fastball. We'll see how she fares against the Bethel Bruins, who normally have a good reputation for hitting, but according to Coach Estep, they've had some problems here in the last few games in putting some hits together. So here we go. We're about to start this game, Mike, and I believe
first batter is Gabriela Gonzalez. She is the catcher for the Bruins. She leads off the bottom of the first, or the top of the first inning. Here as we get ready for the first pitch of the game. And, Paul, we are underway. That one is right in there for a strike. Doesn't look like they're going to use the scoreboard today, so we're going to have to keep our own here. Second pitch is a little ground ball to the shortstop, making the throw over to first base for the first out of the inning.
And, Mike, you're going to have to call those plays from where you are in your perch there, because right where I am, I'm blocked by that electrical setup there, and couldn't even see that play at first base.
Courtney Travis on the play for the Crabbers. This is going to bring up, here's a replay of that last ground ball.
Gabby rips that one on a one-hopper to the shortstop, and she's out by a goodly amount there.
Next batter for the Bruins, center fielder, is Brittany Hitch. Takes the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Second pitch is fouled back and out of play. 1-1 is the count.
Now, if that foul ball comes this way,
Oh, I don't.
Are we going to flip a coin, or you want me to take that one?
I'm hiding from the water.
All right,
the water's going to fly.
I'll take it.
I mean, the water's, what, about 10 feet in front of us?
All right, director telling us if it comes our way, just take off our headsets so they don't get broken.
2-1 as that pitch was high. Scotty always throws in the little tidbits there to help the comical situation here. That's right. We sitting here are replaceable.
Yeah,
that is correct. That pitch was also high. 3-1 now to Brittany Hicks. There's a ground ball up the middle. Slow roller, but gets through. Hicks singles.
So that pitch right up the middle, back into center field for a base hit, the first hit of the game for the Bruins. They'll get a base runner.
That's going to bring up Jenna Ryan, the third baseman. One down here, top of the first inning.
Jenna Ryan, a good contact hitter, according to Coach Eastep. Got good speed on the bases. You might see something going on here. And there goes the runner.
Slides in, and she is safe.
So Bethel getting a runner down to second base on a stolen base. Now in scoring position. And here's that play. Runner takes off. We got a left-handed catcher. And Brittany Hicks safe at second base.
That is a strike. That should be 0-2 now is the count.
That's something I just noticed, Mike, a left-handed catcher.
The only thing, too, is our other umpire has not showed up yet. And apparently we are playing this game with one umpire behind the plate.
And he's going to be doing some work.
There's a fastball that is fouled off to the left side down the third baseline. Count remains 0-2.
On this beautiful balmy day here at Lindsay Middle School.
There is actually some blue sky over center field heading our way.
Really nice blue sky.
That definitely is good news. That pitch is high. There's a steal in base, and I'll tell you, the plate umpire is not going to be able to make that call from down here.
I'd like to see that one on a replay.
And to me, she was out, unless of course we can't.
Here comes the replay on that.
Here.
Well, no, she was safe. Good call. Good call, Blue. I'll tell you what.
It's still a very difficult situation, and here's
Coach Lucas out to ask about that one.
And she's not going to win it. And she's not going to win it because the umpire is relegated to doing what she can. You have to say something, but no matter what is said, she's not going to win it because the umpire
he's by himself. He's got to make his call, and that's all he can do.
Ryan is still at the plate, 0-2. We have Hicks has advanced with a couple of stolen bases, 2/3, so she now is in better scoring position.
Looks like we've got the infield pulled in here, Mike. They're going to try and get the runner at the plate, cut that first run off.
Fastball is popped up to the third base side and grabbed by the Crabber third baseman, and that is Shayla Corrales. Nice play by Corrales over at third base for the out number 2.
Here's the replay of that. So just a little pop-up going foul. Corrales moves over to her right, puts the glove up, tracks it down, and makes the out.
So 2 down here, and that brings up Jamie Powell, the shortstop. She's going to try to do something here. And a hard shot to the third baseman, and unfortunately, she can't handle it. And coming in to score is Brittany Hicks. So the Bruins take the early lead here. That was a pretty good solid hit, too.
Yeah, it was. Corrales couldn't do anything at all with that. There was a hard shot. She's playing in to try and cut off the run. Here's the replay of it. Hard shot. It gets down there so quick. She gets her glove on it, but Mike, you can't do anything with that.
Well, in softball, your corners, first and third baseman, they got to play in because of the bunt situation. And there takes off Powell to second base on a stolen base as the ball gets away from the Crabber catcher. And it looks like this is going to be one of those games where we're going to be run, and run some more.
And then run again. And Bethel's got some good contact hitters on their team, so they can move
advances to second base on a stolen base. Ball gets by the catcher.
Ooh.
That one's fouled back, and she was on her way to third on that one.
What was that?
Looking for a count, and there it is. 1-1 is the count right now on Stokes. This is Jamie Stokes. She is the Bruin pitcher batting right now. 1-1 is the count. Foul ball. And there goes Powell down to third base, but she's going to have to go back. Well, the other umpire in the bases has showed
He's
up.
here.
Did he call that? He called it a foul,
he
correct?
called it a strike. I'm not sure he called it a foul. And now the umpires and the coaches are going to have a little meeting here to figure out just exactly what happened. And I'm not sure whether that was a foul ball or whether he just straight called it a strike.
He put his hand up like it was a foul ball, and I heard him call it. So, and there she goes back to second. She got just enough piece of it to cause the runner to have to go back. Powell back to second base. Now 1-2 with 2 down here. There's a changeup.
Oh, good change.
Gets her on the swing, and then she has to throw her out, and that's going to end the inning for the Crabbers. The Bruins leave a runner on second base, but Brittany Hicks did score. So after the top of the first inning, Bethel Bruins out in front 1-0 on what, one hit? No, we give the other. You got to give the other one credit for a hit. So
that's
2 hits. 2 hits. Let's say 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and there was 1 left after a half an inning to play.
Yeah, if somebody else wants to call that one an error down on third base, that's fine. They can do that. But that was a hard hit ball. I'm giving that a hit.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that. You have a problem with that? I didn't think you had a problem with that.
No problem. Don't worry. Be happy.
So the Crabbers will be coming up now in the bottom of the first inning to try to get back even with them after giving up a run here in the top of the first. Jennifer Mendoza, the left fielder, will lead it off for the Crabbers, followed by Stacy Parham and Courtney Travis.
And they'll be facing the pitcher from Bethel, Janie Stokes. Janie's a senior. She's 4-3 on the year for the Bethel Bruins, and she carries a good stick too, Mike. She's batting .413 so far this year. She's got probably the second highest batting average on the team, following Gabby Gonzalez, who's hitting .464.
And she, by the way, was the one that just struck out the end of the inning.
Yes.
So her batting average might drop
down just a little bit. Yeah.
Point or two.
That's okay.
She'll have a couple more shots at it before this one's over with. She has a very lively fastball, obviously, as we sit here and watch her take her warm-ups.
We're at Lindsay Middle School as we watch the Bethel Bruins take on the Hampton Crabbers here on a nice little cloudy, partially sunny, storm moving in, not moving in, going away, coming back. We don't know what it's going to do.
We get here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's a steady drizzle, and our crew is steadily rolling stuff up to keep it from getting wet, and then all of a sudden it just stopped raining.
Yep.
And here we are. We're playing.
And the sun keeps peeking out, and as you said, it's beautiful blue skies back in that direction towards center field.
On my way home from a ball game last night, and it absolutely looked like we were having a hurricane. The rain was coming down, the lightning, the thunder.
That lightning was something.
And it was actually hailing, I would say easily $half clumps of ice coming down, hitting my car.
That's big. They said nickel-sized possibility. If you say 50 cent or a quarter, I believe
they were big. When they hit the car, you heard it.
I heard people saying they were big. They were bigger than a nickel.
Lasted all of about a half hour, and then it was gone. But it did enough damage to some of the fields. There's a shot up the middle as the shortstop cuts it off and throws the ball in the dirt. Safely at first goes Jennifer Mendoza.
It was a nice play by the shortstop on Bethel, Jamie Powell, to get over there and get in front of that ball.
Well, I believe she outran it anyhow. We're going to give her a base hit on the play.
Here comes the replay. It's a good pitch, sharp hit. She gets over, gets it, gets up on her feet to make the play. Ooh, just does miss it.
She probably would have had her if he had caught the ball.
If the catch had been there, it would have been out.
But it was also, it had to be forced because she had to go towards the hole in order to get that. Next batter is Stacy Parham, the center fielder, with a runner at first, Mendoza. There she goes, taking off to second base, and it
appears that she's safe.
Well, I guess she's safe. I couldn't see it because those guys standing there. Yep, she's safe. Give her a stolen base on the play.
Here's the replay on it. Here's Gabby Gonzalez with the throw. The throw gets down there,
That's
but
why she
can't
was safe.
just quite handle the ball,
Watch the
and
ball
it gets
rolling.
away.
Ball rolls away from her. There's a shot to the shortstop and gets by her. Looks like the Crabbers, and they will tie the score up on a double to left field by Stacy Parham.
Well, Stacy just turned on that one quick and popped it into left field. And on the move, Jennifer Mendoza comes all the way around to score, so we're tied up in the first inning.
Courtney Travis, the shortstop for the Crabbers, is now the batter, and she pops it up to the second baseman, who collects the pop-up for the first out. Shayla Corrales, the third baseman, who had a shot hit to her in the top of the first inning that she had to try to corral, was a pretty rough shot.
Well, that's good. Corrales corralled it.
No, she didn't.
She tried to corral it.
She tried to. Pitch is low. Ball 1 to Shayla. 1-1 here in the bottom of the first inning. Crabbers still at the plate with a runner at second.
And going
Pitch
to third.
is low and goes to
And
third,
coming
and
home.
actually is coming all the way in and will score.
Well, Mike, the Crabbers are turning on the wheels here. That's all I can say. Parham with a steal of third. The wild throw goes into left field, and she'll come all the way home to put the Crabbers up.
So Hampton now takes the lead here in the bottom of the first inning. One down, nobody on now, as Corrales is still batting. That's a call strike.
A little bit different from the first time these two teams met. If I remember correctly, the score was somewhere around 20 or something to 1 or 2.
I believe the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes now. That was close.
That was a good pitch.
Takes that one for a ball. That ought to even it up at 2-2.
And Hampton coming out real strong here in the first inning, Mike.
There's a swing and a miss as Corrales strikes out for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Kelsey Owens, the second baseman for the Crabbers.
Owens, one of the top hitters for the Crabbers.
There's a strike right down the middle. I always like going to and watching a girls' high school fast pitch softball game because the players in the bench are on the bench. They act like their own cheerleaders. They're hollering, they're screaming, they're hollering, special. Oh, here comes one back here and by us.
I got it.
Goodness.
I got it.
Yeah, you got it.
I
all
got
right.
it. Don't worry.
0-2 is the count to
And
Owens.
I don't know whether you can, but I can hear the Bethel team through my headset cheering quite well. Thank you.
Oh, almost.
Now, this is why we need to be behind the plate. That pitch was good. Good from here. But not good from where the umpire has a view.
Well, right now he's got a better view than we do.
Yeah, he does.
That was a little bit low. 2-2. Oh, there's a shot down the right field line.
And that one gets past the right fielder, Mike. I can see it out of the corner here.
On to second base and on to third base for a triple. They're going to send her home. Home inside the park home run. What a shot.
Kelsey Owens with a rip in the right field, gets past the right fielder, rolls all the way to the corner. And, Mike, she showed some speed. When she got to second, I thought possibly the triple. And then you said, here she comes. Here's a replay on it.
And
Watch
gets
this,
by
folks.
the left fielder.
That's a line shot.
The left fielder was playing up close, and the ball just went right by her.
And watch as she's going to second. She's not even hesitating. Here she goes to third, and she gets waved. Coming home, stand up inside the park. Hampton with the home run and the 3-1 lead.
Now Sarah Roby, the pitcher, is up, and she takes the first pitch for a strike. That was a little bit low. 1-1 is the count. 3-1 is our score here in the bottom of the first.
And that's certainly not what we quite expected today.
Not yet. The game's not over with yet,
No,
believe
it's not.
me. And one of the things that Coach Astep talked about in their pregame earlier was that his team had a hard time or was struggling a little bit with the hitting. And from what we understand, the first time these two teams met, Bethel took care of business pretty easily. But right now, the Crabbers are stroking the ball. There's a swing and a miss, strike two. And that looked like a pretty nice swing right there.
It was a good swing. It just didn't catch up with the ball at all. Last 3 games, according to Coach Estep, they have not been scoring runs. They've been not hitting the ball. I think they shut out Phoebus. But other than that, they've only been scoring 1 or 2 runs. 1-0. He said he's just not getting the hits from the team.
There's
like
a ground ball back to the pitcher. Makes the easy out. That's going to retire the side for the Crabbers. But they score 3 times on 3 hits, including the home run. There was 1 error that allowed Parham to score, and nobody left on base. So after 1 complete, score is the Hampton Crabbers 3 and the Bethel Bruins 1.
Here's the last play of the end inning. A little dribbler right back to the pitcher, and the easy out at first base to end the inning. And Mike, look at that sun, bursting right straight out in front of us.
You know, it's funny because a half hour ago, we couldn't see. We didn't think we had a chance of seeing the sun for this game. As a matter of fact, I didn't even wear a hat. Didn't think I was going to need one. But that sun is definitely bright.
Yes, it is. But it's going to make for a good game.
So as we enter the second inning of play, the Lady Bruins they'll be sending up Melissa Walton. She'll be followed by Hope Riddick and Megan Jenkins.
Hope Riddick, no relation to JJ. From Duke basketball.
Yeah, it was funny. We were sitting here a little right before the game started. Danny Mitchell of the boys baseball Crabbers team came walking by. And he was really ripping you about your singing in that game. You know that?
Hey, Danny's just jealous.
Oh, goodness.
With a voice like mine, he wouldn't need to coach.
But I tell you what, we had a blast doing that game.
Yes, we did. That was a good game to do.
That was a lot of fun.
Still can't get over the perch we were in. 10 feet above the ground on a wobbly
set of staging.
Scaffolding, as it were. Trying to figure out how we were going to move without tipping over.
You didn't move. That was the whole key. If you moved, we wouldn't have been there long. And here comes the guy with all the sodas. That looks like Pat Patrick.
That is Mr. Pat Patrick.
What's going on there, Mr. Patrick?
And he's bringing us something to drink. Looks like a Coca-Cola for me and a Diet Sprite for you.
Sprite, I don't know about the diet mess.
And maybe if we can...
Oh. Scotty says you're not friends anymore because you didn't drop one of those off at the truck.
Oh,
no, he hadn't fed us yet.
No, not yet. We'll send him out a little later to get us something.
Here's a ground ball down to third baseline, foul. Melissa Walton, the batter, the first baseman, as we begin the top of the second inning, as the Lady Bruins will try to battle back after allowing the Crabbers to score 3 runs on pretty solid hits too. Yes, by the way,
very good hits.
3-0 or 3-1 now is the score.
Looks like we're going to have a good game.
There is a line shot to center field, base hit.
And the hits just keep on coming.
So Walton reaches first base to start the top of the second. That's going to bring up Hope Riddick, the right fielder. The young lady who had to do a lot of running after that home run hit there by
Kelsey
Owens there in the bottom of the first. That was a shot, and here we go with the running barrage again as
Yep.
Walton takes off and steals second base pretty easily. And I'll guarantee you, Coach Eastap's going to have her coming to third.
Yeah, well, on that one, Reddick turned around as if to bunt. The runner went down to second on the play. So I would assume that he's going to continue to try and bunt her down to third, get her into scoring position. And that way you can get the ball into play and you have the runner come in, pick up a run. He's 2 runs down as Hampton leads this one 3-1 here in the top of the second. We're at Lindsay Middle School for the Hampton Crabbers as they host the Bethel Bruins in girls softball. And this is WHCS Channel 46, where you get all the sports that we give you all the time when we give it to you.
Now, Paul, you're going to have to say it the way the guys in the truck said you had to say it.
WHCS.
There you go.
Yes.
That's fouled off there by Hope Riddick. Down at second base is Melissa Walton, and by the way, she was on her way to third.
Both teams showing a propensity to run. There's the attempted bunt.
And she did not run that time. 0-2 now is the count to Hope Riddick.
I think she might have thought that she fouled that one off and didn't go. Because I certainly expected her to run on that one.
And this pitch gets by the catcher, and there goes to third base is Miss Walton.
A little bit of a change on there. She took something off of it, and the ball kept going up. I think she held on to it a little too long.
One ball, 2 strikes is the count. Change up again is high. 2-2.
3-2.
No, it's 2-2. I think it's 2-2.
2-2.
They don't have the scoreboard on, so it's hard for us to tell what it is because we're so far away from the umpire at this point. Oh, outside, so it was 2-2. Now it's 3-2. Full count. Walton down at third base.
And we just had a play at the plate, and I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, I tell you what, I was looking down and marking the book, and next thing I know, Hampton's catcher was flat on her back. And the umpires are now discussing a situation here.
I saw Walton.
And if I'm not mistaken, a rule states that a player, if the player...
Here comes the replay. Walton's coming in.
And runs the
doesn't have the ball.
Well,
now, I don't know about girls softball, but I know what would happen in boys baseball here.
The runner would be called out for not sliding. And the thing of it is the catcher was making a play on the ball when the contact was made. So, if I was Hampton's coach, and I'm sure that is a rule in softball too, you're required to slide. You can't run over the catcher.
And without a scoreboard out there, we're not quite sure what they've called here.
That one's in the dirt. Advancing down to second is Hope Riddick, who walked. So Walton is home safely on a stolen base. Hope now is down at second base, and Megan Jenkins is the batter. I believe that first pitch was a bit on the high side, ball 1. High enough where the catcher couldn't get up to get it. That one's right down the middle of the plate, and there goes
the runner
base.
Third.
She's in there safely. And sitting here watching that specific play right there where she stole, I can see why she's having such an easy time getting to the bags. Third baseman is way up, halfway between the third base bag and the actual plate. So the person who's actually got to cover the bag is the shortstop because the third baseman's not going to be able to get back because he's protecting on a bunt. And there's a line hit. I guess you call it a line shot. It's good enough roller through the middle. And a base hit for Jenkins, and that's going to score Riddick to tie the game up at 3-all.
There are no outs as
they have a base hit, a walk, 1, 2, 3, 4 stolen bases so far out of 3 batters, and 2 runs, and Jenkins is on first base. That's going to bring up number 5, Julianne Pye. She is the left fielder for the Bruins, and she takes a strike, and there's the throw down to second base.
And we've got another stolen base, Mike.
Crabber, second baseman, reaches over to make the tag, and the ball's still sitting on the ground. So another stolen base as the Bruins run, and
keep running. And I'd keep running here to third because one of the problems the catcher's having, as you noted before, the shortstop's having to come over to cover, and she's having to throw the ball up in order to get it over the third baseman's head to the shortstop. And that's getting off, the throw is getting offline as we have another stolen base.
And the catcher for the Crabbers is having a hard time getting to the ball, too. That was a ball that was inside, but it wasn't inside far enough to hit the batter. The catcher actually should be catching that pitch. That was in the dirt, and she comes up, and it goes under, and here comes the run to score as Jenkins scores now on another stolen base.
So,
Yep, and it is a wild pitch. Actually, probably hit 2/3 of the stolen bases that we're crediting to him were actually stolen or wild pitches.
I've got 3. Here's that last play. The pitch goes in the dirt, rolls back to the screen, and easily scoring from third base, Morgan Jenkins. Yeah, I've got 3 wild pitches here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 stolen bases.
That pitch is in there for a strike. That one's in there for a call strike. 2-2 is the count. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. The Bruins have come up big to start this with 3 straight runners scoring outside. That's must have been ball 3, and before now she gets a walk.
And, folks, again, we apologize. We're going to be off every now and then on the count. The scoreboard is not working out there.
And we're a long ways from the umpire, and he is not giving signals. So we
and Mike Hauser is doing a great job keeping up with it.
What was that Andy said?
Try and have a talk with him.
I know what you said, Andy.
I'll see if I can run over there in between innings and see if he can kind of show us.
That one is low.
Show us some counts every now and then.
Strike. This is the leadoff batter, Gabriela Gonzalez.
Gabby.
Gabby takes the first pitch, a strike. She grounded out to the shortstop to open the game. 0-1 so far. There's a ball in the dirt that should have been caught.
And we're going to have another advance to second base.
As Pye reaches second base safely.
Mike, I had the very distinct honor of being able to teach Gabby Gonzalez in my class at Jones Magnet Middle School. She was one of my 8th graders. Excellent young lady. Comes from a very athletic, baseball-oriented, softball-oriented family. Her father, Guillermo. She has a brother, Guillermo.
2-1 is the count.
Who also played ball, and a younger brother who played ball, but all at Bethel, not Phoebus.
There's a pop-up into the infield. And let's see, I believe the shortstop actually made the play. That was one that the shortstop, the third base, or the pitcher could have had.
We're all there.
And that is the first out of the inning as she pops out to the shortstop.
Here's the replay on that. Everybody comes over. You can see them all there, and the shortstop comes up with it.
That's Whitney Travis on the catch for the Crabbers. 1 down now. Down at second base is Pye. That's going to bring up Brittany Hicks, the center fielder. That ball actually fouls off of her bat. Brittany had a base hit and scored in the first inning.
You could see her on that one, Mike. She grabbed the bat, started into the pitch, and then just kind of stopped. But as she stopped, the ball just came right to her bat and hit the bat. We got a little equipment problem here on the Hampton catcher, Jessica Jones. She'll make some adjustments. The umpire calling timeout here. Yeah, she looks like she's ready to go. So we're ready to start this again as Sarah Roby steps into pitch.
There's a ground ball to the third base. Throw over to first base. Oh, and he called him safe.
She dropped it.
Did she?
She dropped the ball over at first base.
I'm glad you saw it. All I saw was a big box right here in front of us.
Right under the box, I could see the ball fall.
So Hicks is going to reach base by the error. E3 and advancing over to third base on the play is Juliana Pye. Runners at first and third to corners and 1 down. That's going to bring up Jenna Ryan. She popped out to the third baseman. That one gets by the catcher, and in to score is Pye.
And look at this, Mike, going all the way to third from first base is Brittany Hicks. Now that's playing heads up. Ball got away from the catcher, Jessica Jones, and in to score was Julianne Pye. But with heads up base running, Brittany Hicks not only took second, but went all the way to third.
That pitch in there to Ryan is a call strike.
Jenna Ryan, a junior, batting .333 coming into this game. A little bit less now after the pop out, but she's a good contact hitter, according to Coach Estep.
That was low and swung on. Strike two.
Jenna was also all-district last year, one of 3 players on the Bethel team to be so honored, along with Brittany Hicks and Janie Stokes.
2-2 is the count. There's a pitch, ground ball down the third baseline, foul. Count remains the same, 2-2. One down here in the bottom of the second inning. 4 runs in so far for the Lady Bruins. Down at third base is Brittany Hicks, and at the plate, Jenna Ryan. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe here at Lindsay Middle School.
You're watching WHCS, Channel 46.
There's a changeup down to the third baseman. Over to first base for the out, and coming in to score
was Hicks.
It is Hicks.
Looked like it was a good play at first base. It appeared that the first base person, Jennifer Sanchez, had to scoop that one up. Again, it's a little hard to see. If you haven't heard, Mike and I have a little obstruction here. Here's the replay on that ground ball. Here's the throw. Yeah, I just couldn't see it enough, but it looked like it just took a quick little bounce in the dirt, and first baseman Sanchez made a nice play on it.
So Ryan is out at first base, and now the bases are clear. 2 down here. Jamie Powell is the batter. Had a base hit in the first inning and was stranded at second.
Mm-hmm. Jamie's the one that lined the ball right down to third baseman Corrales.
There's a pop-up that is in foul territory down the right left field line and off the fence.
Yeah.
Foul ball. It's got a little wood on that one, did
ball
she?
Out there.
0-2 is the count. Huh? That sun is warm.
It is, but that's good. That portends a good week ahead of us. Bright skies and warm weather.
Are you saying you're off all week?
I'm not saying it. I'm declaring it.
Okay.
I am
Ground
off.
ball down to third baseline. It's foul. Still 0-2.
I'm off in terms that I don't have to go into work.
I'm not touching it.
That doesn't mean that I won't be doing a lot of work at home.
Or that you're really off, right?
Yes, I am off.
You start singing there, guys, and the trucker will start saying it.
Oh, Lord.
Here we go. Change up foul back over here as she is really battling up there.
Now, Scotty's saying I'm off more than a key. Take the last train to Clarksville.
Oh, you done started it.
Oh, Lord.
Change up a little high and outside.
That's a nice little pitch right there.
1-2 is the count. 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning.
6-3 the score. The Bruins over the Hampton Crabbers at Lindsay Middle School.
Again, fouled off, out of play.
This is called working the pitcher.
Jamie Powell is really up there battling.
Jamie Powell, just a sophomore on that Bethel Bruin team.
Again, fouled it out of play.
Well, eventually they're going to run out of balls or out of runners to get the balls, one or the other.
Well, they got a couple of people standing outside the fence there. Just all they're doing is just grabbing the ball and throwing it back in. And that's about 4 or 5 in a row she's put over there. This time this was going to be in fair territory. Off the left fielder's glove. All the way into second base safely goes Powell.
And she finally got that one straightened out a little bit.
And that should have been a call. error on the left fielder there, allowing Powell to advance to second base. I mean, that ball went right off her glove. And there's a replay of her going all the way to second.
Yeah, I'm not sure from that angle that it really did get into that glove there.
So that's going to bring up Jamie Stokes, who was a strikeout victim in the first inning. That ended the first inning. And she is the number 9 batter of the inning for the Bruins. On deck is the batter who actually started off the inning with a base hit, Miss Walton. That one's fouled back here out of play.
I noticed on that, not this pitch, but the pitch prior to this one, Mike, that Jessica Jones, the catcher for Hampton, came up out of there ready to fire the ball down should the runner advance. I guess after, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stolen bases in this inning, she's ready for most anything.
Now that we have one of the balls that was fouled out of play back in the field. Yeah, they were looking for a ball.
Yeah.
The pitch, low in the dirt, and advancing over to third base is Jamie Powell.
Well, if that sun gets much hotter, we've got a little pool we can jump in there and cool off.
Yeah, that's an awful muddy looking pool.
We wouldn't worry too much about drowning either. It's not deep enough. Even
that one's fouled off down. And that one went in the water.
Yeah, this pool's safe enough. Andy could go swimming in there with his boat.
And his rubber ducky. There's a line shot through the middle. Coming in to score, Jamie Powell. So Stokes picks up the base hit and the RBI.
Solidly stroked that one right into center field, right to the center fielder who was playing her in that direction.
And we have effectively messed up my scorebook because now we have to move to a different line as the Bruins have batted around. This is the batter that started off the inning with a base hit, Melissa Walton.
She stole second base, went to third on a wild pitch, and came in.
1 for 1 as that pitch gets away from the catcher, and down to second base goes Stokes. I think we've kind of lost count on how many stolen bases the Bruins keep advancing on.
Well, let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wild pitches, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stolen bases.
Oh, well, she golfed that one in the right field. Drops in for the base hit. Rounding third base is Stokes to score. So Walton, and she goes into second base, gets the base hit and the RBI.
Now, Mike, that's the kind of chip shot that most golfers would love to have. She went down and picked that ball right up off the plate and just punched it right into right center field for the base hit and the RBI.
So the Bruins now will send up the number 11 batter of the inning as they have again batted around. This is going to be Hope Riddick, who walked in this inning. She still is 0 for 0 officially. Now looks like they're sending Melissa Walton back to first base here.
I'm not sure I understand that, but
we can't see because of this big electrical boxes in front of us. He's okay. She's going back to second.
But we're going to say that was an equipment adjustment. Oh, it's a good thing everybody can't hear what we can hear.
Hope Riddick is the batter. That pitch is in there for a call strike. 0-1 is the count with Walton down at second base after the RBI single. There's a ball that is fouled right here at the plate. 0-2 now.
Bethel with 7 runs in this inning as Sarah Roby in a little bit of trouble here. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast she's pitching with a jammed finger on her pitching hand. And it may be contributing a little bit to the control problems here as she continuously is low and in the dirt.
1 ball, 2 strikes. I think we'd be better off if he gets the CD out. Inside pitch goes back to the backstop. And advancing all the way to third base is Melissa Walton. 2-2 is the count.
Wild pitch number 6. Oh, what a
Got
nice
her on
change.
a change up. Got to throw her out, and she dropped the ball.
So we got a strikeout and an E3, and another run scores. 8 runs in this inning for the Bethel Bruins as they take a 9-3 lead.
You have a very difficult time winning games when you give teams extra outs.
And that was a big out to give because they've already got 2 that would have ended the inning.
So now that's going to bring up Megan Jenkins. Morgan Jenkins, I'm sorry. And she had a base hit and an RBI in this inning. There goes the runner down. Oh, and he called her safe.
She dropped the ball. 6 stolen bases there.
And I believe they pitch was a strike.
And she drops it.
Had her too. 0-2 now is the count to Morgan Jenkins. Pitch again in the dirt, back to the backstop, advancing over to third base. Hope Riddick.
And poor Sarah Roby just having a tough time, and the catcher Jessica Jones running back and forth behind the plate there. Bethel just racking up base advancements, one after the other.
1 ball, 2 strikes now to Jenkins. Here's a changeup, grounder to the third base. Throw to first. Gets the out,
and we got
and
the
it
out
finally
there.
Ends the inning. This is going to take a little time. The score is 9-3 in favor of the Lady Bruins as they scored 8 runs in that inning. They only had 4 hits, and I'm not going to say how many errors. So we're done with 2 and our inning and a half here at Lindsay Middle School, the Lady Bruins have jumped on the Hampton Crabbers this inning. As the Lady Bruins are out in front by a score of 9-3. Where you been?
Well, I went to visit the men in blue. See if I could get us a little bit of help.
Different from the Men in Black?
Different from the Men in Black. That was a good movie, both of them. But these fine young men in blue wanted to know if we were going to a commercial and they could be in it. And I had to tell them no.
We can put them in a commercial. What do you think, Scotty? Can we put these guys in a commercial?
Probably could, but they're going to try and turn around and make sure we get a count so we can make sure that we've got the correct count.
Very good.
On balls and strikes here.
So the
first base umpire offered to show us the balls and strikes from his position over there, but told him we couldn't see him very well because of the electrical box that was here.
So the Crabbers will come up now in the bottom of the second inning of play, trailing by a score of 9-3. And this Jennifer Sanchez will be the leadoff batter for the Crabbers, followed by Jessica Jones. And is it Lacia?
Lacia.
Lacia.
I believe it's Lacia.
Lacia Burrell.
You had to speak with her a little before the game.
There's a fastball right in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count to Jennifer Sanchez. This is the Crabber first baseman. Her first trip to the plate today.
That sun's coming right down on us, isn't it, Mike?
Call strike 2.
0-2. There he is.
0-2. That one's right in
nice
there
pitch.
for a call. Third strike. Sanchez goes down, striking out, 1 out. And Jessica Jones, now the catcher for the Crabbers, will be batting. And 3 pitches from
Janie Stokes.
And we have 1 out.
Right in there.
Here's a swing, and it's fouled back there to the catcher.
Mike, she's put it in there.
Miss Stokes must have been...
she must have been stoked.
She must have had an awful lot of rest time over there because she is really letting loose with it now. 1-1 is the count. That was a little outside.
Yeah, and this is important for the Crabbers to get a couple of hits and base runners and possibly some runs here after allowing, 8 runs
There's a
in that
swing
last
and a miss.
inning.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Jessica. 1 down here in the bottom of the second inning. And it has warmed up quite nicely here.
Oh, yeah, I love it. I love it.
Pitch is just outside. As Bob Euchre would say, just outside.
Oh, Bob. I miss him.
There's a little ground ball to the third baseman. Over to first for the out. 2 out now here in the bottom of the second inning. Miss Burrell now the batter. She plays right field, number 17.
As we play on that last out. Nice pitch, grounds it right to the third baseman, and a good strong throw over to first makes the out with no problem at all. Good throw by the Bethel third baseman, Jenna Ryan. Well, that was a nice big bang right off the back of the area here.
Hello.
That wasn't a foul ball.
That'll wake us up.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a little pop-up to the first baseman.
Nice
over there.
catch by Melissa Walton.
3 outs, no runs, no hits, no errors for the Lady Crabbers as they go 1 up and 3 down.
1 up and 3 down.
Sure.
That's really good. That would be something that Andy would say, 1 up and 3 down.
I had to say that. I did it on purpose. 3 up and 3 down. I thought you'd like that. So we finished 2 here at Lindsay Middle School. The Lady Bruins have a 9-3 lead over the Crabbers. We will enter the top of the third inning with the Bruins coming to bat. That will bring up Julianne Pye, who walked last inning, as we enter the top of the third inning of play. We can see the monitor with a little bit of a help from shadow in our eyes because of the sun, but the field we can see the majority of the field with the exception of right at first base.
I've got blockage from center field to right field.
You got a blockage?
Second base to first base. I can't see a first baseman. I can't see a second baseman. But I did notice last time I was able to see the first base umpire right past the electrical box here if there's nobody standing in my way. So he said he's going to show the signals as well, as a home plate umpire.
For those who are just joining us, when we first got here, it was muggy, it was rainy, it was a mess, and we here could not see us having to set up behind the backstop because of the rain. And now, since the sun has come out, that's not a problem. But that's right. As long as the people at home can see the umpires in the field, we're all right.
Scotty reminded us that they're here to watch the game. And that's good. As the umpire gets to show us the signals or the counts, it's a lot easier for us.
I believe they're going to have a change here. I'm not real sure at this point, as the umpire has called timeout and is discussing something with Mr. Eastep, the coach. The batter that is scheduled to bat here is the left fielder, number 5, Julianne Pye. But we are waiting to see what's going on. And I believe what may have happened, I believe the Crabbers have a new pitcher out there, but we are waiting to see a number to verify that. And her number is 5. No, that's Sarah, so she's still there. I'm not real sure at this point in time what the holdup was, but it looks like we're getting ready now to start as the first batter, Julianne Pye, here in the bottom or top of the third inning.
First pitch in there for a ball on Julianne Pye. Julianne Pye walked and scored in the last inning, had a stolen base. She's facing the Hampton pitcher. And there's a strike right there. So now we got a count of 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're at Lindsay Middle School. Swing and a miss, fouled that one off. Julianne Pye now with 1 ball and 2 strikes.
All right. Now that I'm back, do you think, fellas? Here we go. As I'm now back on the headset. There's a pitch and just a little bit high. 2-2 now. That evens the count. Julianne Pye walked last inning on a inning that the Bruins plated 12 batters. That one she takes a call strike 3 for the first out of the inning. So we got 1 down now. That's going to bring up the leadoff batter, Gabby Gonzalez, the catcher. Gabby is 0 for 2 as she grounded out to the shortstop and popped out to the shortstop back in the second inning. First pitch is a ground ball to the shortstop. And the throw over to first base. And got her. Nice play by the shortstop for her second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Brittany Hicks, the center fielder. Here's a replay of that last play. There's a little pop-up past the third baseman. 0-1 is the count.
All right, Brett, drop it, baby.
The ground ball to the third baseman, foul. 0-2 now is the count to Brittany Hicks, the center fielder. Singled in the first inning and reached base safely in the second by an error. As we just had our whole setup moved, now we can see the whole field. Great job by our crew getting us over here where we can see the game. There's a ground ball to the shortstop, and the Crabber makes the throw, and the out at first base. That's going to end the inning for the Bethel Bruins. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. So after 2.5, the Lady Bruins are out in front by a score of 9-3. Here's a replay of that last out.
Well, hello again.
Hi there. That was an adventure and a half there, I'm going to tell you.
Oh, man. We moved the whole shooting match a lot closer to the fence now where we can see everything. Well, I tell you what, there is a baseball field out there. Look at that. They got first base, second base, they got everything. Man. Well, that's a lot better. That's a lot better.
So we have completed 2.5. Bethel out in front by a score of 9-3.
And I missed that, but that must have been a quick inning. 3 up, 3 down? Or
it was.
What'd you call it? 1 up and 3 down?
Yeah.
1 up and 3 down.
Leading off the bottom of the third inning for the Crabbers should be the
Well, there we are.
leadoff batter.
We're out further toward the field.
And
Wherever
that
that
must
is.
be Susan. And there she is waving.
Thank you, ma'am. We're in a lot better position to see what's going on now. A little bit closer to the umpire. Get a better view on him, too.
Leadoff batter, Jennifer Mendoza, the left fielder. Her only at bat so far in the game, it was a single with a stolen base and scored the first Crabber run. She'll lead it off for the Crabbers. That's going to then Stacy Parham, the center fielder, followed by Courtney Travis. Those are the first 3 batters here for the Lady Crabbers in the bottom of the third inning.
Lady Crabbers, coached by Judy Lucas. And they play here at Lindsay Middle School. And, folks, you're watching WHCS Channel 46, where you get all the sports that we give you. No more, no less. This is Girls Peninsula District Varsity Softball. If you're just joining us, the score, 9-3. The Bethel Bruins over the Hampton Crabbers. Started this game under cloudy skies and a little bit of rain, and now it's brightened up. We got beautiful blue skies. The weather is just fantastic, and unlike our past games, not a lot of wind.
And it's not cold.
And it's not cold. Not even close to being cold.
Temperature at game time was in the low 70s, and I guarantee you it's at least in the 80s now.
Oh, yeah.
As it has warmed up, and it's quite warm for the second week of April here. I'm not real sure why we have such a hold-up in play here. But
well, we've got an equipment problem with a glove down here at first base. The Bethel first baseman, Melissa Walton, trying to do some work on the glove. Looks like something came loose, one of the ties. Players hate to give up their gloves. They'll do anything to get it fixed so they can use that same glove. Normally, you'll find about 5 or 6 gloves laying around in the dugout. Somebody just toss one out there. But if it's your glove, you want it. You don't want to get somebody else's.
Jennifer Mendoza, the left fielder for the Crabbers, as the Crabbers now will start the bottom of the third inning. Pops it up down third baseline, out of play. 0-1 now is the count.
That ball went right into the sun when it went up.
I think there's a song to that saying. No, never mind.
Now we got Mike going.
Instigator. Get it going. Here we go.
Here comes the sun.
There it is.
Do-do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, I say.
Foul back here at the plate. 0-2 now is the count on Mendoza. Jennifer really goes after the ball, doesn't she?
She does. There was a Major League Baseball player named Mendoza, Mario Mendoza. His lifetime batting average was 199, so they call it the Mendoza line. 200 is the Mendoza line. If you're below the Mendoza line, you're batting below 200.
Nice changeup.
Batting 200 would be bad in Major League Baseball. You wouldn't have much of a contract if you were batting 200.
Now, that is an interesting
there goes a motorcycle.
Little young man riding around in a little electric scooter. Looks like a Looks like a half between a rocket ship and a motorcycle.
And that's
Battery
got some
operated, so I'm
exhaust
sure you was
pipes on it.
wondering what that noise was. 2-2 is the count now to Jennifer. There's a pop-up in the infield, and everybody just lets it fall.
Oh, my goodness.
Nobody called it. She's going to end up getting a base hit.
Oh, my goodness.
As Coach Estep is over there saying, somebody call the ball.
Well, what he said was, who called the ball? He wanted to know who called it because
Well,
they
guess
all
what?
stood around.
Nobody called the ball.
They didn't want to do anything.
With a runner on first base now, Stacy Parham is the batter, center fielder for the Lady Crabbers.
That was Mendoza's second hit.
Parham doubled her first time up. There's a pitch in for a call strike. Stacy lined a shot to left center field in the first inning for that double. Squares around a bunt. She went after that one.
Yes.
0-2 now is the count.
Jennifer Mendoza on first.
Grounds the ball to the second baseman, over to the shortstop for the force out over there.
Nice play by the second baseman for Bethel, Morgan Jenkins.
So Parham hits into a fielder's choice.
Here's a replay of that. Somebody yelled two. She turns real quickly. If you notice that turn, gets the ball there in plenty of time.
Great play.
It's a good pivot on her part.
So out down at second base was Mendoza with one out and a runner at first. Courtney Travis now the batter. She popped out to the second baseman for the first out of the first inning, so this is her second trip to the plate.
Courtney Travis, the shortstop.
Ground ball to shortstop. Nice stretch by the Bruins first baseman for the out. That goes 6-3, and that is out number 2. Advancing to second base was Stacy Parham.
Yeah, that's several stretches we've caught here for Melissa Walton down at first base.
But we can see it now.
Yeah, we can see it now.
And when we
she's
shade our eyes. This is Shayla Corrales. Swing and a miss. She was a strikeout victim in the first inning for the second out of the inning. She's 0 for 1 officially. There's a pitch that's low, swung on and missed. 0-2 is the count. 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning for the Crabbers.
Corrales, a 10th grader, is also a pitcher for the Crabbers.
And she swings on a third straight pitch for the third out of the inning. For the Lady Crabbers, no runs, 1 hit. There were no Bruin errors and 1 left by the Crabbers. So we've completed 3 innings of play here at Lindsay Middle School. The Lady Bruins of Bethel have a 9-3 lead over the Lady Crabbers of Hampton.
And you're watching WHCS Channel 46, your Hampton City School station for Peninsula District Sports.
Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe here on a nice, sunny, warm day,
and
as it's turned out to be. We have one more game. I believe that will be the first week of May. Will be a baseball game.
And we'll be over at Bethel High School as we watch the Bruins host the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Looking forward to that game. It's always nice to go over to Kecoughtan or to Bethel and do a baseball game. Of course, now Bethel's softball facility is a nice place
to do
games too.
Yes, it is.
It was funny because the Bethel coach was telling me beforehand, man, you guys got to come over and do a game at our place, man. We now have a concession stand.
We just did one last year.
I know that, but he's trying to get us to come out there and do a game. You know,
well, is he going to feed us?
Huh? That's like Danny Mitchell wanted us to. Yeah, right. That's like Danny Mitchell coming up last year. Why come you never come do a game?
Well, we've done them
there. And where did we end up at when we did a Hampton game? Right
up in a scaffold 10 feet off the ground, behind the fence.
Holding on to the pole that was next to me, and all I was saying was, don't move. If you take a wrong move, you're going backwards and going, where are you going to go? Straight down.
Every now and then I'd look over my shoulder and stare 10 foot down to the ground.
That was an adventure, though. We had a good time with that game.
We did.
We really did.
Yes, we did.
We had lots of music and lots of singing. I'm not real sure. What was that?
Here we are. Scotty just
She's
said
got a first-class view up there, though.
There's no rain. Scotty complaining that we're complaining, and Susan's up on a great flat platform, holding on to a camera so she doesn't have to fall.
Oh, that one hit the back of the base runner. Jenna Ryan, the leadoff batter, gets hit in the back of the head with a pitch. So she is on at first base. No out here in the top of the fourth inning. Here's a replay. Watch her get hit.
That pitch gets away from Roby and just hits her right
smack in the back. Jamie Powell, the shortstop, the batter. She has a base hit, stolen base. She reached by an error by the left fielder in the second inning and scored, so she is 1 for 2 officially.
1 for 2.
And there's old Braxton standing out there in right center field.
Now, he's the one that doesn't have a platform to stand on. He's on a van. Yeah. Scotty said he's dodging home runs.
Well, I guarantee you Susan will have more problems dodging foul balls than Braxton will dodging home runs on this field.
Exactly.
Because if somebody hits a ball out of this field, that's going to be a shot. This fence is way away from the plate.
What is that, about 250?
Oh, at least. This is a large softball field here. There's a pop-up that's going to land just past the shortstop, and she makes the play.
Courtney Travis getting back on that pop very nicely. Going to her right, drifting back to make the catch. Here's the replay of it. Pop straight up. She just kind of plays that one perfectly. Nice catch.
Jamie Stokes, the pitcher for the Bruins, now batting. She's 2 for 2, both singles. She has 3 stolen bases on the night, has an RBI, and has scored twice. There's a pitch that I thought was a bit high, but it was called a strike. 0-1 is the count.
Janie with 4 wins and 3 losses on the year. At this point, she's headed for that 5th win. Handles the bat real well. As
a little changeup, fooled her just a bit. 0-2 is the count. That was a nice pitch. She was way out in front on that one. Down at second base is Jenna Ryan. She reached base safely after being hit in the back on a 1-0 count. There's a line shot off the glove of the shortstop into left field. And they're sending her, and here's the throw, and not in time, and going all the way around to third base.
I believe they got her. Show her the ball. There it is.
The umpire wants her to see the ball in the glove to make the out. So, now how you want to score that?
That's a tough one. That's almost got to be a hit.
So we'll give her a base hit.
Here's a replay on that. Let's see. She smashes it.
It's a shot, but it went right off her glove. So either way, base hit to Stokes and an RBI. Yeah. As coming in to score is Ryan on the play. But over getting the out at third base for the second out of the inning as Stokes is thrown out at third. So we got 2 down now, run in the 4th inning.
And we've seen a very aggressive Coach Estep for the Bruins as he continues to send his runners around the base paths today, Mike.
This is the first baseman, Melissa Walton, who has 2 hits. She has scored 2 times.
This time she flies out to the center fielder, Stacy Parham, who makes a nice running catch coming in for that 3rd out.
I was giving the wrong person all those extra RBIs a little while ago.
Well, I'm sure
you didn't see that? Did you catch it?
Here's a replay on that last one. She just lines that one into center field. The center fielder running in makes a nice stab at the ball and takes it in for the 3rd out. It's a nice catch by Stacy Parham of the Hampton Crabbers.
So in the 4th inning of play, the Bruins pick up another run on 1 hit. Had a couple of stolen bases thrown in there. A nice play at third base to nail Stokes trying to advance to third on that play. So the Bethel Bruins 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and there was nobody left on. So after 4.5, the Bruins extend their lead now to 10-3 over the Crabbers. As we head into the bottom of the 4th inning, leading off for the Crabbers is going to be Kelsey Owens, the second baseman.
I'm glad you said it was the bottom of the 4th. I got so many scratches and marks over here from that 1 inning where they batted around that I'm losing track of where we are.
So Owens will lead it off here in the bottom of the 4th, followed by Roby and Sanchez. Owens is the young lady who hit the ball down the first base line and ended up with a in-the-park home run. Looks like we've got a change at first base for the Bruins.
Try to get a number over there. We may have to wait a minute or two.
We can get Susan to kind of get the number of the first baseman. We'll be able to tell you who she is. We are not in an advantage spot here. Where
number 19, it's Serena Overton, the new first baseman, Serena Overton.
Thank you, Susan.
I'm going to assume she's going to go into the spot where Melissa Walton was. So welcome to the game, Serena Overton, the new first baseman for the Bethel Bruins.
Again, Kelsey Owens is the batter. There's a fly ball to center field that's going to get by the center fielder. She cuts it off quite nicely, and here's going to be a play at second, and they get her. So Owens takes a base hit and tries to extend it to a double and gets nailed at the bag. Gets credit for a base hit out of that, though.
A little too aggressive on that as you watch the replay here. It's a solid hit into center field, but the center fielder gets over very quickly to cut it off, makes a good, strong throw to second base, and, Mike, it's not even close.
Nope.
It's not even close. Brittany Hicks, the center fielder for the Bruins, getting the ball in quickly. Like I said, she got over quickly and cut it off. You hate to say it should have never happened, but it should have never happened.
Sarah Roby, the pitcher for the Crabbers, is now batting. She is 0 for 1.
Mike, when you're that many runs down in a game, you don't want to make an out on a base running mistake of that nature. You've got to give your team a chance to get more base runners.
Roby grounded out to the pitcher. And this time she grounds out to an unassisted play by the first baseman.
The new first baseman, Serena Overton.
Jennifer Sanchez, the first baseman for the Crabbers, is now up. And that is not Jennifer Sanchez. That is number 31. So the Crabbers have made a change here, and we were not told.
Nope. I don't have anything on the Crabbers. Is that over there?
Gray is her last name. We
Miss
will
Gray.
find out what her first name is soon.
It's number 31, Gray, the new batter here in the 4th inning for the Hampton Crabbers.
As both teams now starting to do some substituting. There's a pitch that's a little low but swung on for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count.
A lot easier to see that umpire this close up, isn't it?
Well, I'll say.
You also hear him better.
And a swing and a miss
There
for the
you go.
3rd strike and the 3rd out. No runs, no hits. Well, there was 1 hit, I'm sorry, by Owens as she tries to advance it to make it into a double and gets nailed at the bag. So after 4 complete, the Lady Bruins out in front of the Lady Crabbers by a score of 10-3.
At Lindsay Middle School, this is WHCS Channel 46.
All right, back here at Lindsay Middle School, 10-3, Bethel out in front of the Crabbers of Hampton. We are getting ready to start the 5th inning to play.
And we've still got the young Miss Roby in pitching for the Hampton Crabbers. And like I said earlier, Mike, I talked to Coach Judy Lucas. Roby with a jammed finger today on the pitching hand. Wasn't sure how far she was going to be able to go in today's game, but It appears she's going to go with her.
You can't blame all these runs on her because there's just been multiple errors on the infield that has gotten a lot of these 10 runs for the Bruins on the board.
That and the aggressiveness of the Bethel players, taking the extra bases, the stolen bases when they needed them, taking the extra bases on the hits, putting themselves in a position where they can score.
We have a new batter coming in here. Looks like number 12 is going to be the new batter for the Bruins.
For the Bethel Bruins, number 12, Casey Chenault. Another one of our former students from Jones Middle School. Got to say hello to Casey at the beginning of the game. Casey Chenault, K-A-C-E-Y. Last name C-H-E-N-A-U-L-T, a sophomore for the Bethel Bruins.
And it looks like number 4 may be coming up next. So we're going to be having a couple of changes.
Empty in the bench.
10-3 is the score here in the top of the 5th inning. Pitches a ball to Casey. Yeah, the Lady Bruins, they scored 8 runs back in the 2nd inning, and they plated like 12 players in that inning. That's a swing, as she's going to be called. I think she called it a strike. Did he call it a strike? He stuck his hand out, but no, he called it a ball.
No strikes. 2 balls, no strikes. So
2-0. I'm surprised they don't ask the first base umpire for help on that one because I
she
thought
went around on that one. Yeah, she did.
There's a pop-up right there to the catcher, and she makes the out. That goes fly ball to number 2 for the first out of the inning. The next batter, number 4, is...
Here's a replay on that pop-up to the catcher, and it appears we've got a new catcher for the Hampton Crabbers.
This looks like Lauren Fraser coming up to bat.
It looks like we got number 32 in there catching for the Crabbers, where we used to have Jessica Jones, number 13, and I just don't see a number 32 on the lineup card.
On the lineup card, nope.
But number 32 is in there catching for the Crabbers. We do know that.
This is Lauren Fraser. She's pinch hitting here for Morgan Jenkins. That one's fouled straight back here.
Mike got a little nervous on that one as it came toward this direction.
1-1 is the count. Got one down here in the top of the 5th inning with the Lady Bruins out in front 10-3. Broke it wide open back in the 2nd inning, scoring 8 runs.
Tons of runs. Tons of runs.
There's a foul ball
right here. Ooh.
Almost got some water.
Don't let it get that water.
1 ball, 2 strikes now is the count. There's a fly ball to right field.
That's going to be trouble.
And it falls in for the base hit.
So Lauren Fraser with her first hit and her first at bat here at Lindsay Middle School against the Bethel Bruins. Excuse me. She is the Bethel Bruins. What am I saying?
And the next batter coming up to bat is number 8. That is another new player.
Number 8 is Brittany Ely. So Coach Estep getting most of his players in the game here.
There's a pitch that is taken for a strike, a throw down to second base on a stealing. Lauren Fraser is in there safely.
Now, it's been a while since they've had a stolen base. After running all over the place in the 2nd inning, they slowed down a little bit, but here's another one.
There's a pop-up to the shortstop. Makes the play for out number 2. That's going to bring up the top of the lineup. It should be the catcher, Gabby Gonzalez, and it is.
Here's the replay on that pop-up to the shortstop. Courtney Travis slides over and makes the play. And as I used to say years ago, ladies and gentlemen, now batting for the Bethel Bruins, Gabby Gonzalez.
Don't they usually talk like that in soccer?
Well, they used to, yes.
Okay.
And they still do, actually.
Oh, okay. You found somebody, Scotty. Oh, they talk like that in Venezuelan baseball?
Gabby with her brothers Guillermo and Oscar Gonzalez. Both of them played at Bethel High School. Excellent ball players. Gabby also a great student, too, by the way. I don't know how she's doing at Bethel High School, but when she was at Jones Middle School, she was an excellent student. Good kid all around.
Besides the fact that you taught her, right?
Yes, besides the fact that I taught her. Not sure she learned a lot from me, but
there's a change up in there for a strike.
Lauren Frazier looked like she wanted to go on that last pitch, came about halfway down and held up.
Guarantee she's going this time.
It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, that ball gets away.
She'll make it safely only because the ball gets by the catcher.
Well, you know what that looks like? Jessica Jones with a different jersey.
It does, left-handed.
I'm wondering if she switched jerseys. We've got her down here as number 13. And, folks, I'm going to...
There's a pop-up to center field. Nice play by the Crabbers to end the inning. So the Bethel Bruins come up empty, stranded a runner at third base. No runs, a base hit, nobody, no errors, and one left. We've completed 4.5 here. The Crabbers trail the Lady Bruins 10-3.
You're watching WHCS, Channel 46, Hampton City Schools, your station for sports, baseball, football, softball, and occasionally soccer. It's been a while, but occasionally soccer. We try and do as many games as we can a year, folks. If you want more, just let them know at WHCS.
I can see Scotty now. Now, why did he say that? Scotty's going to be inundated by phone calls now. Why did you call it doing our game? Say that's right. That's right. The budget is
There's something called money.
That's right.
That we don't have.
Give if anybody wants to give Scotty about $200 or $300 a game, we might be able to take care of you.
Oh Lord, you'll need more than that.
Hey, that's just a start.
You need a whole lot more than that.
That's a start, right, Scotty? You notice how the truck in this game is an awful lot quieter than they were in that first game we did, or the last one?
Well,
that's what it is.
There's no music, and I haven't been singing.
Yeah, but you got too many people around you now.
I don't mind. People will listen.
Oh, yeah.
They get awestruck. They go, what in the world is that?
That's a good question, Andy. Why does it take so much time to get in between innings?
The truck is asking us why. Yeah. What's the holdup? In a baseball game, it does go faster.
I haven't seen Pat Patrick come back by here. Did he leave, or is he still here?
I do not see him.
He came in here a little while ago, back in the first or second inning, toting a great big old thing full of sodas for the girls over there in Hampton. And of course, he's a Hampton alumnus.
Well, I'm going to take a second to see. It looks like he's over there. I'm not sure. His daughter plays for the Hampton Crabbers, Molly, and today is Molly's birthday. So happy birthday, Molly, in case you watch this later on. And as Mike mentioned, Pat Patrick, an alumnus of Hampton High School. I've known Pat since we were in high school. Pat and I umpired together out at Phillips. In fact, one of the young players we used to umpire that played baseball at the time at the Phillips League was a young man by the name of Boo Williams at that time. Pat was also a basketball player for Hampton High School.
Member of the 1969 state championship game.
Good guard.
There he is. He's standing over there.
Anastasio. Is that him around the corner?
Yep. Mike Anastasio, Pat Patrick.
He and I played softball against each other for many, many years. Good young man.
I can remember back in the back in the 60s.
Oh, Lord.
Playing
You
Little
can
League.
remember that far back.
Playing Little League for Hampton with Little League. Here's a pitch into Jessica Jones. Call strike. No, that's number 24.
I think they
got a new batter in there for the Crabbers, and we got to see who that is. Number 24.
We can tell you that's number 24.
And
that's all we're going to tell you.
Because there's nobody on our lineup sheet, number 24. We apologize for not having the information, but we can only announce what is given to us. There's a swing and a miss. 0-2.
We have number 11 is Williams, 9 DeRouse. Number 22 looks like Bonady. Number 31 Gray. Number 6 Coleman. And that's all we've got here outside the starting lineup.
Takes a third strike in for the first out of the inning. Well, the next batter scheduled up is Burrell, number 17.
But it's going to be number 9, DeRouse. It appears to be D-E-R-O-U-S-E, DeRouse.
So she is now pinch hitting for Lucia Burrell. There's a fastball right in there for a strike.
Tell you what, Jamie Stokes doesn't look like she's lost anything off that fastball from the first inning until the fifth inning here.
Yeah, I remember playing Little League. That was back when all our uniforms were made out of wool.
They didn't have Little Leagues back when you played.
Yeah, they did.
No.
Yeah, they did. Hampton with.
Baseball wasn't invented then.
Our baseball field was, oh, you're really getting it. Our baseball field was behind Armstrong Elementary School. Now it's sitting back behind the fire station and with Elementary School off Kicktan Road. They got a nice little facility out there, so they moved it away from the area that I grew up in, and that was the old Dixie Hospital.
Yep.
Centera. Now it's fouled off. So she is hanging in there. I don't know where she's going to go.
Well, she started to go to first.
I think she thought maybe that she swung and missed on it, and it got by the catcher, and then you can advance.
Yep. Well, that's on the third strike, but I think she fouled it. At any rate, she'll step back in.
0-2 is the count. And swing and a miss. That's the second out of the game. That should bring up Jennifer Mendoza, the leadoff batter, number 7, and that is who is up there, left fielder. Miss Mendoza is 2 for 2. She singled and scored in the first inning. She singled in the third and got thrown out at second trying to advance to second base. That ball is hit on a low pitch to the shortstop over to make a great play. That'll end the inning for the Crabbers at the end of 5. The score remains the same. Bethel 10 and Hampton 3.
Jamie Powell, the shortstop, made a nice play on that as we'll watch the replay. It was a hard hit ball. Powell comes across, makes the pick, and a strong throw to just get the runner by about, well, I say just, it's about a step and a half, 2 steps. Good strong throw by Jamie Powell.
So in the 5th inning, the Crabbers, no hits, no errors, no runs. And they didn't leave anybody. You got to have a hit or a walk to leave somebody, right?
That's exactly correct.
So nobody left on. 3 up and 3 down. That will bring up the Bruins here in the bottom of the top of the 6th inning.
So we got about 2 more innings to go here in this game, and it's beginning to look like it's going to go the Bruins' way as they're holding on to a commanding 10-3 lead over the Crabbers. Crabbers, of course, they've got some young players on the team. They got a lot of young pitchers. Roby, of course, a 9th grader. Their other pitchers, Corrales, she's a 10th grader. I talked to Judy Lucas, the coach. She said both her pitchers are learning some pitches at this time. Roby has a good fastball, but she's trying to pick up a change and a rise, and she has to hit her spots. Corrales has a good drop ball. She needs to pick up a change and a rise as well. They're working on that with her. They've got good speed on the team. They've got some hitters like Travis Owens and Corrales who can move the ball around. But they're young, they're inexperienced, they're inconsistent. They got great heart and desire, but they're going to have to get that learning curve to where it's becoming a positive thing, and that'll happen as the season goes on and they play more games.
So we will enter the top of the 6th inning now for the Bethel Bruins. Leading off for the Bruins, the center fielder, Brittany Hicks. Hicks will be followed by Jenna Ryan and Jamie Powell here in the 6th inning of play. with Bethel out in front by a score of 10-3.
10-3. Not 10-2.
And as long as it's taking these people to actually get. Yeah, that's a good idea. We have Susan.
What was that?
Susan standing up on top of the truck over there. One of our cameras. And Braxton out in center field, or right center field, with the camera out there.
Susan and Braxton have been out here for quite a while, set up before the game.
Yeah, I got here about 3 o'clock, and they were tearing stuff down because it was actually raining. And they were trying to get everything put away and out of the way of the weather so that, some of this equipment can't afford to get wet.
Don was running around like there was $1 million worth of equipment out there.
And then I had the brilliant idea of opening up this box back here. And let's set up in there in case it starts to rain. And then almost as soon as we did that, the sun came out.
And the whole time, Andy's in the truck. Good job, guys. You did a great job of setting up.
Got Don Sherrouse, our engineer guru, along with the
Guru. I like that. Guru. Don the Guru.
Yeah.
Andy Foley, and Don the Guru.
Andy Foley is the guy that takes care of all the graphics on the screen for us. And, of course, the big guy. Scotty Bowers, there's our director. There's a ground out to start the inning by Hicks.
These guys do a great job. If you ever get a chance to say hello to them, folks, if you see them, thank them for all they do. They do a fantastic job in getting together all the programs on WHCS Channel 46.
And the best part of it is they could be talking to us in the background, and our folks out there can't hear. So if all of a sudden we stop talking,
there's a reason.
And more than likely, it's because we have to take our headset off to keep everybody from hearing us laugh so hard. And this crew just comes out here and has a blast every time we come get them. All we got to do is get them out of the studio, Ryan fouls that one off down the third base line.
Sometimes I think that's the only time they get out, is when they come to a game. The rest of the time they're in there programming. Had to stop down by the studio this morning, and Andy and Braxton are.
Did you find them?
Well, oh yes, they're always down there.
Oh, they were there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're always down there.
I figured they were out for lunch.
Oh no, they got so many things going. It's just amazing if you've ever been in the rooms back there at the station.
They are located at Jones Middle School.
It just looks like I don't know what to call it. It's too techno for me. I know that. I walk in and they've got 16 different screens with 32 different pictures on them and 42 different consoles running.
And if anybody ever wants to know what's going to be on WHCS, call the studio and ask for Braxton. That man will tell you what's coming up and when. All you have to do is dial that number. That's a swing and a miss for the second out, as Braxton, our cameraman out there in charge of programming at the WHCS, will
be more than happy
to let everybody know what
you're going to see today.
And if that's not good enough, call him back and he'll tell you again. Isn't that right, Braxton? I'm trying to get Braxton to wave. He won't even wave.
I'm not sure he can hear us from here.
Oh, he can hear us.
There he is.
Oh, there's a shot down the third base line. Foul. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is fair. Nice base hit there by Jamie Powell.
That's what you call a rip.
A rip? Right over the third baseman's head. Next batter, the pitcher. Jamie Stokes, the pitcher, is the batter.
All coaches like to see that kind of hit because you just turn on that one and rifle it right into left field over the third baseman's head. It's a solid shot.
Stokes struck out in the first inning. She singled in the second.
Has 2 RBIs.
She singled in the fourth. In the fourth. I've got so many lines here from that one inning where they played 12 players that we're actually only in the fifth inning. Actually, the sixth inning. See there? So Powell officially 2 for 3.
Here we go.
Stolen base, as nobody was really covering the bag.
New second baseman.
I believe she batted in that
Crabbers. Yeah, that might be number 32, maybe. No, that was
32 is the catcher.
That's 31.
And I still say that 32.
Gray is the second baseman.
Stokes,
I swear she changed jerseys. Had to have changed jerseys.
Well, she either changed jerseys or we've been calling the wrong name the entire game, you know. 1-1 now is the count to Jamie Stokes.
Sounds like the ESPN
has a
cheerleading squad.
Strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
Over here in the Bethel Bruin dugout.
Little change up. As obviously I was a little off on the balls because she just picks up a walk. Puts runners at first and second with 2 down. That's going to bring up Melissa Walton.
Walk like a man.
No, this is not Melissa Walton. This is the young lady that came in.
Is Serena Overton.
Number 19. Serena what?
Overton.
Miss Serena Overton.
Serena Overton came in the last inning to play first base. Called strike on Overton. Stokes at first, Jamie Powell at second. Serena Overton, the new first baseman for Bethel, at the plate.
There's a ground ball to the first baseman.
Nobody covering.
Take the play herself and get the out. That'll end it for the Bruins here in the 6th inning to play. No runs. No hits. They left 2.
I've got 1 hit.
They did have 1 hit.
I got 1 hit there.
Miss Powell had a hit, correct?
That is correct. Here's your replay of the last out here. First baseman picks it up. Nobody was covering, so she hustles over to make the play.
No runs, 1 hit. 2 left on. So after 5.5 innings of play, the Lady Bruins still lead the Crabbers by a score of 10-3. And I tell you, most of the runs that the Bruins scored was all back in the second inning. They did score 1 in the 4th.
But that's it.
And the Crabbers have pretty much held their own since then. But that 1 inning was a killer.
Good inning. I tell you what, Sarah Roby, for having the jam finger, she just had that 1 bad inning. She's pitched real well. She only faced 1, 2, 3, 4 batters in the 4th, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the 6th. So she has rebounded nicely after that second inning and pitched a great game. Unfortunately for her,
it was the second inning that did them in.
They got the 8 runs.
Plated 12 batters in that inning and left a couple on.
And on the opposite end, Janie Stokes, the pitcher for the Bruins, has pitched a whale of a game. They scored 3 runs off her in the first inning, but since that time, 3 batters in the second, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the third, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. She's been lights out.
So the Crabbers come up to bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning, trailing 10-3. Stacy Parham, the center fielder, number 14, should be the lead. Is a scheduled leadoff batter.
Hopefully will be.
Parham, Travis, and Corrales should be 1, 2, and 3 here.
You're watching WHCS Channel 46. This is Friday, April the 14th. Spring break has started for Hampton City Schools. So if your children aren't home next week, better check and find out where they are because they're supposed to be. School's not going on.
Well, it'll be like a summertime. A lot of folks are going out on vacation next week. Easter Sunday. Squares around and fakes a bunt, takes a ball, pitch for a ball. And that is Stacy Parham up the bat. And she leads off the Crabber 6th inning. That one's right in there for a strike. 1-1 is the count.
Several of our crew going away for the Easter break.
Parham doubled to lead off as the second batter in the first inning, and she hit into a fielder's choice in the third. This time she grounds out to the pitcher and just gets her.
Overton just got her foot on the bag there.
That goes 1-3 in the book. First out. That's going to bring up Courtney Travis, the shortstop.
Here's a replay of that. Watch this, just a little tapper right back to the pitcher. She tosses it over to first. Overton. Whoop, there it is. She noticed at the last minute, my foot's not on the bag.
That's a healthy cut she just made. Travis just took a nice swing at the ball and just did miss. She popped out to the second baseman and grounded out to the short, 0 for 2. That one pops back here out of play. And a tree saved it from going behind that fence, so it stayed nearby.
They won't have to go too far to get that one.
As it looks to me like they finally got enough balls out on the field to take care of the ones that keep being fouled off. At that one time, every time they fouled one off, they had to wait for it to come back.
Well, they appear to have plenty of them now, so we're in good shape.
0 for 1, or 0-1 is the count here on Travis. There's a line shot to
base hit.
Center field, base hit, as she collects her first hit of the game. With a runner at first base now, Shayla Corrales, the third baseman, is the scheduled batter, and that is who's up there. Corrales has and two plate appearances, both times have struck out. So one down here. That's a foul ball straight back here to the fence. 0-1 is the count. Boy, has this been a long game.
What is it, 6:25? Game started at 4:30.
It's almost 2 hours long. That's a long time for a softball game. We still got a ways to go. Pitch is just high.
That was a good pitch. Nice looking pitch from here. Everything looks good from here.
Man standing behind the plate said that ball was high and outside.
So he's the one that knows.
That ball is high and outside. Same pitch. 2-1 is the count on the Crabber batter, Shayla Corrales. Here's a fly ball to short right field. It drops in there. And getting to second base safely is Travis. So Corrales picks up her first base hit of the game. That's 2 singles in a row now as the Crabbers mount a mini threat here with one down and runners on first and second base. As the Crabbers coach calls timeout, and it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner in. Pinch runner is number 6.
And that's going to be Coleman.
So
Coleman, the pinch runner.
Ms. Coleman will go in there and pitch run for Corrales.
The third
Kelsey
baseman.
Owens now will be batting. 0-0 is the count. As there's a ground ball back to the pitcher. And she was standing there waiting for a defensive player to get to a bag.
Nobody got to second base, Mike.
She made the play to first base, though, to get the out on a fielder's choice.
And I believe they might have had a play at second.
That very well could have been a double play if somebody at
Here's
the infield.
replay on that. Let's watch and see if we can pick anything up here.
Watch how long it took her to actually. Well, is anybody going to be there?
Nobody was there. Nobody was there.
So now with runners on second and third and 2 down, Sal Roby, the pitcher, is up to the plate.
Yeah, I believe that would have been an easy double play there.
Grounded out to the pitcher in the first inning, and grounded out to the first baseman in the fourth. That sun is coming down and getting right rough here. Oh, that was a late call. It looked like a good pitch, but
it was a good pitch.
Call strike.
So Roby can help herself out right here with a base hit.
There's a swing and a miss. 0-2 now is the count. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Crabbers. They trail the Bruins 10-3. All 3 of the Crabber runs coming in the first inning. There's a ground ball to the second baseman, who makes the play for the third out to end the inning for the Crabbers. They strand runners on second and third with 2 hits. Crabbers no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and there were 2 left. We've completed 6 innings of play, and the Crabbers trail the Bruins by a score of 10-3.
And here's the last play that ended that inning. A little tapper to the second baseman, thrown over to first. Overton makes the play at first for the last out. This is Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser. We're here at Lindsay Middle School as the Bethel Bruins visit the Hampton Crabbers in Peninsula District Girls Varsity Softball. The scores, Mike just said, 10-3. The Bethel Bruins over the Crabbers. We're WHCS, Channel 46. Nice day. Great blue skies after the rain that we had threatening earlier.
As we get ready to enter the 7th inning of play here at Lindsay Middle School. Bethel Bruins leadoff batter in this inning is number 12, Casey Chinook.
And Mike, we also want to thank our crew again, our cameramen, Braxton and Susan, and of course, don't want to forget Sarah Miles. Sarah Miles is an actor. Where am I coming from?
I think
Sarah
she's an
Myers, actress. Well, she might be an actor. I don't know. Sarah Myers and the young man that all the girls like at Jones, Mike Nowinski. Mike Nowinski.
Scotty
and
says,
several
I
other
think,
crew members are going, that was me.
That was me.
Ray,
Yeah,
talking
Scotty
about,
says,
right?
I thought you already mentioned my name. Go ahead, Scotty.
Well, it was the young teachers at Jones who wanted to know who Mike Nowinski was. Oh, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. The crew in the truck is feeding us some wonderful information. It just is taking our breath away. I don't know what to say. Thank
At
you,
least we're not singing, right?
You're right, Scotty. If I said that, then we would be in trouble.
Here we go. We're going to start the top of the 7th inning finally. And the batter is Casey Chinook, number 12. She came in and batted in the last inning. Hey, Mr. Patrick, where are you going? Where's my drink?
Be happy.
It's been in the dirt, and you're trying to give it to me? Man. Mike. So here we go. First pitch is a little bit high to Casey. Trying to get Pat Patrick back over here. There's a fly ball to left center. It falls in, and Chinook will pick up a base hit. She reaches base safely for the first hit of the inning for the Bruins. That's going to bring up, I believe, Lauren Fraser. She came in and pitch hitted a couple innings ago, number 4, and that's who it is. Yeah. Shame it took us this whole game to get that, huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry we've been silent here, but I've been talking to Pat Patrick trying to find out the information on Hampton's record. We had Bethel's record earlier when we started this broadcast. The Bethel Bruins came into this game with a record of 6 wins, 4 losses, and a tie. And I've just found out that the Hampton Crabbers come into the game 1-8 in the district. I believe they're 1-9 overall. Thank you, Mr. Patrick. I appreciate that information.
We want to know anything about Hampton High School. All you have to do is go back to people like Pat Patrick.
Oh, you can go back further than that.
Mike Anastasio.
You can go back to Bud Porter and Jimmy Eason, and good gracious, you can go back.
Oh, yeah.
Joey Lawrence.
Now you're really going back.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
man.
Joey. I didn't mean to say that.
Jerry Odell.
Pitches in the dirt, and the runner stay. Well, is she going?
She's going down to first.
Okay.
Called a walk.
So Frazier advances to first base with a walk. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. Of Going down to second, Casey Chenault after the walk. Brittany Ely. Let's see if this is still Brittany batting because she came in back in the 5th inning.
I believe it is, but we'll see in just a second.
There's a pitch in there for a strike, number 8. That's who that is. That's Brittany. 0-1 is the count to Brittany now. The score still stands, Bethel 10 and Hampton 3. We are in the top of the 7th inning. Pitch is in the dirt. Both runners will advance. Going over to third base is Chinook, and going to second is Frazier.
So Bethel with 2 runners in scoring position again here in the 7th inning, looking to add on to their lead.
They're going to have to really get going. Oh, there's a little pop fly to the second baseman, almost made the play.
And we're going to have a play at third, Mike.
She's in there safe. Ball gets by her. But we're going to have to give her a base hit on that as the second baseman went after the ball but couldn't come up with it. Scoring on the play was Casey Chenault going over to third base. Lauren Frazier safely. And then advancing on to throw to second base was Brittany Ely. So that's a couple of base hits and a walk here. That's going to bring up the top of the lineup the catcher, number 2, Gabby Gonzalez. On the day, Gabby is 0 for 3. Who do you have her down at?
I got her 0 for 4.
0 for 4. I didn't put down that last one.
Yeah, 0 for 4.
Yep, she's 0 for 4.
That's an oddity for her, too.
Runners at in scoring position now, second and third.
Gabby, a good young player.
See if she can drive these 2 runs in. Pitches upstairs. 1-1 is the count. Still nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. The Lady Bruins threatening again with runners at second and third. Here's a pitch right in there, and it popped up to the infield. Second baseman for the Crabbers makes the play. It should have been an infield fly. For the first out. So Gonzalez pops out again, this time to the second baseman. That's going to bring up Brittany Hicks, the center fielder. And Brittany is 1 for 4 as she had a base hit in the first inning, scored twice. Reached base safely in the second inning with an error. She fouls that one off.
Scored one of the runs in the second inning when Bethel picked up 8 runs.
That was the inning. That was the inning right there for the Bruins, as they just ran some more. There's a fly ball to left field that's going to drop. At least one run's going to score. Advancing over to third base, and look what's going. And there goes
aggressive play.
Aggressive play as Hicks goes all the way to second on a base hit. Scoring on the play was Lauren Frazier. Advancing to third, Brittany Ely. Still only 1 down now as the Bruins have played at 2 here in the 7th inning. That's going to bring up Jenny Ryan. The third baseman, Ryan, is 0 for 4. She was hit 0 for 3 officially. She was hit by a pitch back in the 4th inning. That's a strike. And she, by the way, scored that inning that she got hit. Are you looking for MVPs at this point? You're over here quiet, circling names.
Yeah, man. Just kind of looking at things here. It's getting close to that time where we're going to have players of the game. So, I'm looking here and I'm looking here.
So sounds like a winner to me. We'll let you take care of that. Ground ball to the third baseman. Throw over to first.
Whoa,
she
nice
did pick it up.
Nice pick.
Gets the out, but coming in to score was Ely. Ryan grounds out in the book. It would be 5-3 for out number 2. Advancing to third base now was Brittany Hicks, and that's going to bring up Jamie Powell, the shortstop. And Powell is 2 for 4. 2 singles, scored a run. She reached base with an error. She's been on base 3 out of the 4 times.
Been a busy lady.
She's got 2 stolen bases so far in the game, so Jamie Powell's been pretty busy. Here's the play at the plate, and the umpire makes
started
the call.
to call safe, and then he called her out.
So at the plate, the out occurs for number 3. So Powell doesn't get her bat because, unfortunately, the inning ends at that point. So
here's a replay on that, folks. Watch her come in, and she gets the ball, gets the tag down.
I believe she did touch her foot.
That was close. From where we can see it here, I don't know. You can call it at home, folks.
So the Bruins, they scored 3 times. They had 3 hits along with a walk. They left nobody on. There were no errors. So after 6.5 innings of play, the Lady Bruins are out in front of the Crabbers by a score of 13-3. So the Crabbers have 3 outs to mount something here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As we get set to finish this game up here soon, we're going to be announcing our choices of players of the games. And, Paul, we've pretty much picked them. You go for it.
Well, this was a difficult one, as it is all the time, Mike. But, I think we've had 2 young ladies that have had some standout performances today. One of those is for the Bethel Bruins, and that is going to be my pick, Janie Stokes. She's the pitcher for the Bruins. She gave up 3 runs in the first inning, but she's been lights out since then. Hampton has just not been able to get to her at all. And not only that, she's 2 for 3 at the plate. She's got 2 singles. She's picked up a couple of RBIs, a stolen base. She's walked. She's just done a fabulous job in putting the Bruins ahead in this game, keeping them ahead, and doing a great job on the mound. So, Mike, Janie Stokes of the Bethel Bruins is my choice for player of the game for the Bethel Bruins.
Your choice?
And yours.
Oh, well, as far as I'm concerned, it's our choice.
Our choice.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Our choice. You want to?
No, you go ahead. You got it right there.
Well,
that's fine.
Over on the Hampton side.
This was where it was hard.
Yes.
We got to look at a couple of players, one of them being the pitcher. She's a freshman.
She is, and she's done a good job.
Get rid of the second inning, and this was a whole lot different game.
Yes. And then you have Jennifer Mendoza, the leadoff batter, who's got 2 singles. She scored. She's done a great job from the leadoff position. You have Stacy Parham, who got the double in the first inning. But then you've got our choice, Kelsey Owens, the sophomore second baseman for the Hampton Crabbers, who got the inside-the-park home run in the first inning and also singled in the 4th. She's 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored, and has played real well at second base. So congratulations to Kelsey Owens, the second baseman for the for the Crabbers, and to Janie Stokes, the Bruin pitcher. Our players of the game for WHCS, Channel 46.
All right, here we go in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Crabbers as we finally get going here.
They take a lot of time between innings, don't they?
Young lady, Miss Gray, this is number 31 is the batter.
Gray is her name.
What's her first name? Gray. Thank you. Yeah, we got that taken care of. Kimberly Gray.
Kimberly Gray.
Kimberly Gray is the batter for the Crabbers. And she did come in and pinch hit last time.
Mm-hmm. And she struck out in that appearance.
That was back in, the 4th?
Yes, sir.
That pitch was a little inside. Oh, did he call that a strike? Nope.
Oh, I think he called the ball.
Yeah, he called the ball.
Down to first base, yeah.
So a walk to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning for the Crabbers. This batter is number 32, which is the player that came in and...
Well, actually, that's Jessica Jones, the catcher.
Yes, it is.
Supposedly she was number 13.
Yeah, I'm not sure how she ended up with a jersey number 32. That one gets by the first baseman. Advancing over to third base goes Kimberly Gray. So Jones reaches base on an error throw.
So Hampton not quite giving up yet. Getting their first 2 base runners on here in the 7th inning.
That was a nice job by the right fielder backing up that throw that time.
Yeah, because I looked down there and I didn't see anybody going after the ball. It's Casey Chenault out there. And I thought, my Lord, they're going to run all over the place. And all of a sudden the ball came firing back across the field. And I thought, whoa. So young Miss Chenault did a great job of hustling over there and getting that ball.
This is number 9, DeRouse batting. No, it's number 11.
Number 11.
So that's another new batter.
Williams.
Miss Williams.
Hello, Miss Williams. I'm sorry we don't have your first name.
Her first bat of the game, 0 for 2, and she strikes out on 3 straight pitches for the first out of the inning. Still at first base for the Crabbers is Jessica Jones, and all the way down at third base is Kimberly Gray. This is going to bring up the leadoff batter, Jennifer Mendoza, the left fielder. She is 2 for 3, a couple of singles.
And she was one of the ones that we considered for player of the game.
2 for 3 officially. She has a stolen base. She has scored. She singled in the first, singled in the third, and grounded out to the shortstop back in the 5th. So this is her 4th attempt. What's the call here? Call
It looks
strike.
like we had an appeal here on the pitch, and they called down a strike.
I thought the plate umpire had called a strike.
So did I.
Ground ball to third baseman is foul. She gets around quite nicely on a pitch and makes contact.
I'm curious about the umpire situation set up right now. We get the field umpire all the way over at third base and the home plate umpire here. Usually that umpire is at second base.
With second base open, yep.
Because you've got a runner on first.
She swings at a pitch that's low in the dirt. And going down, and looks like we're going to have the out at third. That will end the game.
After we get another out.
Well,
we missed one. Must have been a strikeout. Throw him out.
It was a strikeout.
Well, I missed that one.
Mendoza struck out, and being thrown out back at third base was Kimberly Gray for the third out.
Here's a replay on that. That was a swing.
And we have already mentioned the players of the game, and we'll do it again. There is the good call by the referee. Again, our players of the game. I'm sorry, that's right. Our players of the game for the Bethel Bruins.
For the Bethel Bruins, the pitcher, Miss Janie Stokes, doing a good job on the mound, only allowing 3 runs. And for the Hampton Crabbers, second baseman Kelsey Owens, who was 2 for 3, including an inside-the-park home run.
All right, final score here at Lindsay Middle School. The Bethel Bruins 13 and the Hampton Crabbers 3.
You've been watching WHCS Channel 46 Sports, where you get all the sports that we give you when we give it to you.
That's right. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe. Take care, everybody. We'll see you at our next game, which will be Kickitan visiting Bethel in about 2 weeks.
Till then,
good night, everyone.